Hello everyone watching. For this video I was going to show how to get the bass right in your songs. So I have a lot of techniques that I use that I do personally that I think get better results whenever I'm trying to get the bass right in a song so that it sounds good in cars, headphones, speakers, and other sort of sound emitting devices. So I have this song here that I was going to use as an example. It's a little Morshoe meme that I did.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs.
I turned it into a rap song.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies.
So, I guess I'll just get right into it. One of the things that I do is, well, I have a few tools, and one of them is this plugin called Span.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it?
You want all your sounds to be sort of equal to each other.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it?
You could see the bass frequencies over here, the mids, and then the highs.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies.
So although you can see that his voice gets louder than the bass at times,
Lamp oil, rope, bombs.
it peaks around here while the bass is like down here. The bass is like constant, so it feels more present in the mix because his voice is coming in and out, but the bass is constant, so it sounds more prominent.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it?
So it can be tricky. You can't just throw an EQ and then mess with it until it gets flat.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. Sorry, Link. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a...
Another thing I do when I'm listening to a song that I'm writing, I will use this pitch to pitch the song up really high, because that way I can hear the bass easier, because whenever bass gets down really low, it's hard to judge how loud the bass is compared to the other instruments, because it becomes more of a feeling than a sound when it gets down to those lower frequencies. So every once in a while when I'm writing, I'll just raise the pitch up really high, make sure that the bass isn't overpowering the other instruments, and then I'll pitch it back down. Another thing you're going to want to do is find a good reference track. A reference track is just a song that was professionally mixed that sounds good on a lot of different systems that you've listened on. So one of your favorite hip-hop songs, or one of your favorite classical songs, or chiptune, whatever it might be. So what you would want to do, let's start a new project. Let's take this song, which is a remix of The Weeknd's Blinding Light that I did.
No, I can't sleep in. I'm blinded by the lights.
So then we take another song that is not mine, and we see. Like I said, you want it to be of a similar genre that you are writing yourself for the song. So I guess trying to keep it PG, but there's not a lot of PG hip-hop songs. Yeah. Actually, we can just use a song that I am sure that won't cause any problems, that I also did. That should work. So I have this one, and this one next to each other. So I kind of line them up with a drop hits. And then what I do is I'll bring out the Span plugin and I'll A-B them.
I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel you.
And then I'll go to the next one. So this one seems to have some really intense bass frequencies going on that could possibly sound very very overpowering on bigger systems, and not in a good way. So you can either just EQ it out, so maybe something like that, and then compare it. Sounds a little better. But then I would go through that process and just sort of fine-tune it as much as I can. Another thing that you can do is, let's say you have a song, listen to it in mono. So I have a little switch right here that I can either widen the left and right in the song or mono it so that there's no left and right. And this is just a general mixing technique, but if it sounds good in mono, it'll likely sound good in stereo. But then when you put it back in stereo, you want to be careful that there's nothing that's too left or too right. Another thing that I use to make sure that bass is in check is sometimes I'll take an EQ and I'll take out all the highs and all the mids, and I'll think to myself, is that what I want the bass in my song to be doing? Is the kick too overpowering to the bass? Or sometimes whenever I'm listening to the song on speakers, I'll put my hand on the speaker and I will feel it as though if I were listening to it in a big club, and is that the kind of vibration that I would want hitting my body at the club with this kind of song? And sometimes that can be really helpful. So those are the ones that come to mind when I think of how to get my bass just right in a song when I'm writing something. I hope this was helpful. I'd love to talk more about these sort of tips and tricks. Let me know in the comments if there's something else you want me to cover. And that's it. See you guys. Have a nice weekend.